you know we can see you, right? Let's talk about Cloudflare real quick. First off, congratulations to them. They just came off their highest revenue quarter in company history. They made about 639.8 million in revenue over 3 months. That's to be celebrated, right? Really good revenue months. But they got their highest revenue quarter. Guess what? Approximately 1,100 of their people got pink slips. So I looked through the guidance, looked through the news, looked at what the business streets were saying, and management is calling it AI efficiency pretty much. They're saying AI made a lot of those jobs redundant. So we have to look at what that actually means because it's easy to see the 640 million, the 1,100 people. It's easy for us to say, man, those are real people, real families, real mortgages, real car payments, just real bills. And it's easy to tie that 640 to that 1,100 people losing. But we also have to consider, based on their numbers, were they right? Because if you go through their financials, you see over that same quarter where they made 640 in revenue, they took a loss of almost 23 million. And that's the part that none of us really get to. The business streets weren't talking about the loss, they were only tying revenue to job loss. So we have to be the type of people who actually consider, does this make sense when you dive into the numbers? But we won't know if it actually worked, right? So they had a tough decision to make. I'm sure they have shareholders that's, driving them to make profit. So they had that tough decision. They made a decision based on those numbers, and we just won't know if it's the right decision for the next 12 to 18 months. But what we do know is we'll be watching.
Hello and welcome to The Real Bottom Line with Albert the CPA, featuring, you guessed it, Albert the CPA. Kind of knows, ain't it?
All right, so let's talk about it. And I want to talk about something that's actually close to me and my team. Let's talk about Pinky Cole and Slutty Vegan, right? So we are going to talk about it, but we're not talking about it in the way that you see online. This isn't no tear down. This isn't no bash. It's a celebration because what Pinky Cole has done is something that a lot of people have tried and couldn't do. She started a cultural movement, and she started a cultural movement around healthier options. So that's to always be celebrated. Even if you don't like the burgers, you have to like what it means, and for our community specifically. So when you have lines around the block, when you have people lining up just to see and get and experience what you have going on, there is no chain of events that should happen to have people looking at you like you're actually a loser. But you can have success in business, but what we can never lose sight of or what we can never skip is the numbers. Now, what we can't erase, Pinky Cole and Slutty Vegan had a $100 million, roughly $100 million valuation, and they raised 25 million. So that means a group of accredited licensed investors saw a potential or an opportunity in her company, what she built, to make a solid return on $100 million. That's what that valuation means. It means they see that business as worth that amount of money. And not only do they see that, they want a piece of it. So we can't erase all that because now she's dealing with some personal bankruptcy. But there's a gap between 100 million valuation and bankruptcy. And that gap is those numbers. Because what I'm seeing here, and again, I won't act like this is data that I research. What I'm seeing is something I see specifically in small business. And what I think is happening here is rapid expansion in absence of numbers. Because one successful chain or one successful location growth isn't linear. That's something we talk about all the time. Growth isn't linear. So one successful location in one chain does not mean that growth will translate into different locations because it has to be a very methodical, numeric growth plan. There are companies that can aggressively grow because they have 100 locations already, so they have it, thinking Chick-fil-A. But when you have one or two successful locations, you can't go do 10 because every new location is a new lease, a new team, a new group of expenses, and we have to ensure that the revenue for each of those individual places is justifying those additional costs. Because if you hide through high valuations and raising funds and spend money based on the money that you have available versus the profit, you can find yourself way in over your head. You can find yourself needing additional investors. You can find yourself needing additional raises because the growth is going way faster than the proof of concept. And that's what I think we have here, right? We have pretty much a cultural legend who's built something amazing for her people that's now being ridiculed and laughed at by those same people that she was trying to give healthy options. And that ain't what we do here. But what we do here is make sure that we talk about the number side of it, because every single location has to have its own P&L, its own numbers, its own profitability, its own cash flow. And we have to make sure that before we move to the next one, the one we have now is operating efficiently, because we need to kill or keep each of these locations. But if we have 5 new locations before we know if numbers 3, 4, and 5 actually work, and we continue to grow, we don't know how close we are to bankruptcy. We don't know how close we are to profitability, because what can be happening is those same 1 and 2 that you started with that were killing it, if those numbers aren't clear, they can make it look like the 3 losers are also killing it. So just another lesson, like build by your numbers. Make sure you have solid numbers, people. And as the leader, make sure you understand those numbers. You must understand so you can hold everyone accountable. But that's my take on Pinky Cole. There is nothing to be ashamed of. There is literally nothing to cower, and there's nothing to ridicule her about. She's done something that most people could never do. So she's someone to be celebrated. And then too, sidebar, bankruptcy is bankruptcy protection. And I think we need to kind of understand what that means too. That don't mean broke. That means asset protection. So maybe somebody's trying to make sure they're not losing everything.
Coming to the stage, Albert
Yeah. You remember our first date?
I do. It was at Applebee.
Yes. Remember what happened?
I do not remember what happened. Anyways, I guess we'll explain this business lesson through the frame of our first date.
Yes.
Because like when you see news that kind of hits home, business news that hits home, because Applebee's, or I guess I'll give you the story, right? Applebee's, or the local operator of Applebee's, they're closing 53 locations.
That's a lot.
And Applebee's actually really means something to us. Even, do you remember when people were like, the first date thing was, don't be taking me to Cheesecake Factory and Applebee? I was like, Applebee's?
That's our spot.
Mozzarella sticks? boneless buffalo wings?
Thanks.
But it really meant something to us. So that's Lauren and I's first date. It's, just imagine, this was not CEO. This was not married for several years. This was college kids, broke dude from the hood with the good girl. Y'all remember we used to go and get our good girls back in the day? See, I don't even, do kids, y'all young. All right, you young. Do they still try to go get a good girl?
I don't know if it's that calculated, but maybe.
But y'all remember, my millennial brothers, y'all remember we used to go get us a good girl, got my good girl, trying to like, dress it up, get clean. I took her to Applebee's, y'all. Because y'all know what Future saying? Chickens and the fries, we don't go on dates. They come from a real place. But so we going to Applebee's, y'all. I got on a, not no tall tee. I'm gonna set the scene. No tall tee, none of that. Tall collar shirt. Used to sell those at the mall.
Yes.
So just set the scene. We sitting there.
Yes.
I'm trying to be smooth.
With your mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, with mozzarella sticks between 7 and 9 p.m. Half off appetizers. And I just remember it just meant like so much, because I'm just trying to impress this good girl.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then, she ended up impressing me, because when the bill came,
Who paid?
Lauren paid the bill.
Yes.
And I ain't have it. I didn't know how it was going to work. I was going to swipe the card with a prayer. But when you see like a place like that, that's so pivotal, like that was our first date. When we started Right Choice, the first time we took clients out, it was to Applebee's.
Yes.
Ice, when you started,
We went to Applebee's.
we took you to Applebee's for your first lunch. It was just like such a pivotal thing. Then I'm reading and researching. Applebee's closing 53 locations.
Just in the Atlanta area.
Yeah. So it's chapter 11. So I should say, I can't confirm that they're closing. That's an extreme. To be accurate, we see that they in chapter 11, which probably means it's gonna if anything, it's gonna be affected negatively.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cases where we know, bro, everybody know Applebee's. I don't even know where you located right now if you're watching this, but you know or probably know Applebee's. So this isn't a brand thing.
No.
This is an operator thing, right? It just looks like you have to be super careful when you operate so many locations at such a close proximity of each other. Because when you got one owner or one decision-making pattern, the same person is making the same decision for several locations. So any of those things that come up wrong can affect 53 different crews, staffs, not families, because I'm talking about restaurants. And I always go back to, man, I just remember
Our first date.
yeah, bro, like me trying to impress you. The kids don't do it like we used to do it, y'all. And I know the women too. Right, you remember when we used to try to impress y'all? It's different. It's different now. Like I'm in there, y'all know I got on my best, had on them the not the white ones, not the black ones. You remember when they used to give us the different color night? I had the ones with the blue check. Yeah, man, I was doing my thing. So I just think about that and then I'm like, man, in the area, because I didn't check, but I'm almost sure that one of the 53 affected that's one of them.
Oh yeah.
So is that milestone in our relationship, like, is that being like, are we at risk of going out of business here?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, I'm doing all the talking. What you think? How you feel? You were trying to impress me back. What's the other side?
I was trying to impress you back, but I wasn't gonna be washing no dishes. So either you pay with your prayer or, I gotta swipe my card.
Yeah. Well, back to the business listening. It hit, man. I feel a little something about Applebee's.
It happens. It's business. Having that one operator overseeing all those different chains.
Yeah.
It's hard to make business decisions, and that's kind of where we are in business as well.
Yeah, because when you have too many franchises too close together, or too many different things are affected by a small group.
Yeah.
Because y'all know how it is. Like if we get in a small group, like we'll start affecting each other and kind of like we'll start shifting or having impacts on each other's decision making. So if we too tight knit of a group, there are cases where we start kind of moving as an engine, as a solo force. And when you have like a really small group of people making a decision for a lot, like you are in a really, really risky proposition. And that's what I really think is happening here with Applebee's as we closing 50 something locations and affecting all of the people, not only the operator, but all of those people that work there.
Yeah.
Because you do like franchise concentration is what we call it. Having too high of a franchise concentration is dangerous, because even us, like you were going into, we've been in that situation several times. When people saw that our business, Right Choice Accounting Solutions, was growing and scaling, people would literally like always try to partner with us on something. And there was a time where we were like, okay, we're quality, so we should literally create tax offices to compete with your Jackson Hewitts, your H&R Blocks, because they would never be able to compete with our quality. But we would have diluted our overall brand. Y'all, we're known as a premium fractional CFO full service firm. So we don't compete with H&R Block. H&R Block is a group of, for lack of better words, customer service people who are doing data entry. And when we put ourselves as competitors to them, but we're supposed to be premium, what does that do for us? It dilutes what our brand actually means. But who was making the decision? Lauren and I. Lauren and I are married. We work together all day. We live together all night. So we can become like one person. So if something makes sense to her, chances are it makes sense to me. So you have to be super careful about making decisions that affect a lot of people, because if we had done that, you already know we would have been done pull the plug.
Yes.
Would have had those locations, would have hired those people, and by now we would already be like, what were we doing? We need to sell these to H&R Block or Jackson. You know, we would have been trying to get out of that business. And I think we avoid franchise concentration or franchise too much because when you do too much and when you have like a really small decision-making team, it's risky. It's risky because we were this close. And there was another popular, you remember, I won't say the name of it because it like with us, that one done came and went.
Yeah.
There was another one that was kind of coming up around the same time and they actually went for it. And I ain't heard from them, I know, in 3-4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
This was maybe 2019, 2020.
2020.
Yeah, like we would have done that and that could have been us. But what would have happened is it would have also affected Right Choice. And Right Choice is a really well-established premium firm. So tying it back to Applebee's, which breaks my heart.
Yes.
Tying it back to franchise concentration, which I guess breaks my heart because it affects so many people.
It does.
Like you do have to always keep in mind that brand concentration and brand health can be it could just be
They're not the same number.
It is not the same number, and you have to use numbers because if you're using your opinions, your small group of people, I'm a little broke up about this. I'm gonna need a tissue or something because anyway, you take us to the bridge. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. I'm just like, man, mozzarella sticks.
I remember it. I remember it well. Hopefully we can continue having Applebee's.
3 for $7, half off appetizer, 3 to 7, 7 to 9. Man. Anyway.
I remember the time. The Real Bottom Line with Albert the CPA is brought to you by Right Choice Accounting Solutions, where we help professional service providers maximize their profit while saving a lot in taxes. At Right Choice, we do everything from basic bookkeeping, payroll, taxes, all the way up to fractional CFO services. Yes, and over the years, we have saved our clients well over $11 million in tax savings. And we are also led by our Forbes featured CPA, Best in State. Yes, and if you Google us, Yelp us, you'll see our amazing 5-star reviews.
All right, y'all ready? Facts only?
Ready?
Yeah.
So what we doing here is I'm reading 4 different business news clippings, whatever. But the name of the game is facts only. Only one of the 4 is real, and they all gonna sound good. So my amazing team here has to decide which one of these is a real story and which one of them I ain't got nothing. So eyes on the camera, y'all keep looking that way. Make sure y'all get us these viewers by getting these pretty faces in the camera. So y'all ready? So keep in mind, all of them sound good, only one is real. Story number 1. 7-Eleven is closing 645 North American locations in this year, the fiscal 2026. Story number 2, Subway announced plans to close 400 U.S. locations after a lease renegotiation strategy failed in 12 major metro markets. A Southeast Chick-fil-A franchisee surrendered 8 locations back to corporate over operational compliance disputes. Y'all know Chick-fil-A big on following that Chick-fil-A. He must have not had the people saying my pleasure. Dollar General has paused all new store openings in Q1 2026, citing a 14% spike in shrink losses, which means too many people stealing. So is 7-Eleven closing 645 stores? Is Subway planning to close 400? Is somebody having to get a Chick-fil-A back because they mess with Mr. Chick-fil-A and the Lord's Chicken? Or is Dollar General tired of people who work there stealing? You first.
They mess with the Lord's chicken. And they
Chick-fil-A.
one day.
So I'm gonna write this down. Can't be playing with the Lord Chicken. Any company that can just afford, any fast food chain that can afford to be closed on the weekend, on a Sunday, can't be played with. Who, you, Chrissy?
I said Subway. Like, who even eats there? Yeah, I haven't seen nobody in Subway.
You want to eat fresh?
She right. She right.
Subway,
Subway be looking risky.
STD days.
Subway do
Jersey
be,
Mike's and
yeah, Subway do be looking,
Really the $5 pillow.
right, yeah, and they still got the best bread, but we don't even care. What you got?
Dollar General one.
Dollar General paused all new stores. So we got Rachel says somebody don't play with the Lord's Chicken. Chrissy says don't nobody eat Subway no more. Dollar General say stop stealing our cheap stuff. Ice, you want?
I was gonna say Dollar General.
Dollar General. 2 for Dollar General. So Lauren and Ice. Write these down. Y'all ready for the correct answer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we should do the TV thing. And if you're at home, feel free to play for But the correct answer is 7-Eleven is closing 645 North American locations this year.
Wait, North America.
Yep.
7-Eleven got over 100 locations, 600 locations.
That's not the whole business. So yeah, they everywhere. But they not here. Oh, no, it's one somewhere in Atlanta.
It's somewhere from there.
Yeah.
I've
Was that
seen
you
it.
wanted to-
Please.
Oh, well, anyways, all y'all were wrong. Everybody was wrong. Everybody was wrong. Anyways, thank y'all for playing. And this will be a weekly episode, facts only. All right. Time for Ask Albert the CPA. What we got this week, Chrissy?
So this week, our question is, why is it so hard to find a good accountant?
That would be the first question on the first episode. So I'm going to immediately reframe. It's not hard, or it's not actually hard to find a good accountant. It's hard to find the right accountant for what you need. And what I mean by that is there are just so many different types of accountants that small business owners need. So there are fractional CFOs, there's CFOs, there are bookkeepers, there's accountants, there's controllers, there's tax strategists, there are tax preparers. So a lot of small business owners don't actually know what it is they need. So they don't know which professional they're supposed to hire. So if you need a CFO and you hire a bookkeeper expecting CFO services, you may not have a bad accountant. You probably just have misalignment on communication, misalignment on really capacity, misalignment across the board. So I would just reframe and say, small business owners and small business leaders have to protect themselves by truly understanding not only what type of accountant they need, but they need to understand what it looks like when it's done right. Lauren and I are big on talking about what done looks like, and you empower yourself to hold everybody at your company accountable by knowing what done looks like. You need to know what a fractional CFO does. That's going to be your projections, your budgets, your future looking strategy. You need to know what an accountant does. An accountant is going to interpret and deliver your financials. You need to know what a bookkeeper does. Bookkeepers categorize stuff, make sure stuff is organized. Tax preparers prepare taxes. Tax strategists help you actually save money on your taxes. So depending on what you need to hire that thing. Now the complexity, people be lying. So that's why you need to know exactly what it is you need. You need to know what it looks like done right. You need to know when somebody lying right through their teeth. So it ain't hard to find good ones. It's actually easy to find good ones when you know what you're looking for. It's hard to know what you're looking for. Or you really could just skip all the complexities and hire your right choice. I'm gonna see y'all next week. That was perfect.